Okay, good morning. Welcome to the Lorain County Board of Commissioners meeting of November 17th, 2021. This meeting will now come to order. We will rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And our inspirational word for the day comes from Psalm 147. The Lord is pleased only with those who worship him and trust his love.
Thank you, Commissioner Lundy. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Here.
Commissioner Moore?
Here.
Commissioner Lundy.
Here.
We'll begin with a resolution.
Number 1, investments.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Number 2, appropriations.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Number 3, transfers.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Number 4, advances, repayments. There were none. Number 5, requisitions.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board?
Yeah, last week, Velocity was pulled from the requisitions so that Commissioner Lundy could review the contract. It's not on this week. We're not going to meet next week. I was wondering if we could add it to the resolution this week. Or is there still more reviews, or are you changing your mind on paying that bill, or?
No. No, I have all intentions of paying the bill. I just want to make sure that I actually get a contract back from a person instead of an LCC, and actually a working phone number instead of a post office box.
You're looking at me for,
Yeah, not looking at you. I'm sorry. It's just hard not to look at you, Dan, so.
But no, like I said, the only issue I had with that was the way everything was rolled out. It wasn't rolled out well. There was a lack of confidence by the employees in the way it was going to be handled, and that's why we had to pull it back and pull the information back in. But I realized that there have been costs that have been absorbed, and I have every intention of supporting the payment. So if you want to do that the first meeting in December, we can do that.
So you have all intentions of adding it to the bill, or do you need a phone number? I'll write down what you need. Phone number,
I'd like a signed letter from
Address.
someone instead of an LLC. And
contract. Okay.
we entered into a contract with a company with a post office box number that wasn't a listed LLC with the state at the time. And
I just want to
Gotta
make
rough
sure
roll out.
that, we're signing contracts. I want to make sure we're at least paying them, so.
no, we will
Okay.
pay them, but believe me, it's nothing personal, it's nothing political, it's professional is what it's about for me. So it just wasn't handled in a very professional way, and there's nothing I take more seriously than our compensation and health care packages for our employees, and I want to make sure that's all handled in a responsible fashion.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think on my end, I was just waiting for the final review of the documents to come in. So I can agree with Commissioner Lundy. Hopefully, we'll have those by the December 1st meeting. Okay. Anything else, Commissioner Moore?
Nope.
All right. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Number 6, travel.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Okay.
Number 7, bills.
Okay, move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Okay, the next item of business is number 8, authorize various personnel actions as indicated on the summary sheet for employees within the jurisdiction of the Lorain County Board of Commissioners. At the conclusion of today's board meeting, the commissioners may recess into an executive session to discuss personnel, new hires, and board appointments. The next item of business is number 9. I move to approve and waive the reading of the meeting minutes of November 10th, 2021.
Second?
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Okay, the next item of business is number 10. Madam Clerk, please read the resolution into the record.
Declare official intent with respect to reimbursement of temporary advances made from capital expenditures to be made from subsequent borrowings in the amount of $1 million.
Move to approve.
Second?
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Next item of business is number 11. Madam Clerk, please read the resolution into the record.
Emergency resolution to accept the material terms of the One Ohio Subdivision Settlement Memorandum of Understanding and consistent with the terms of the July 21st, 2021 National Opiate Settlement Agreement.
Move to approve.
Second?
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Moving on to Children and Families Council, the next item of business is number 12. Madam Clerk, please read the resolution into the record.
Approve and enter in a contract with Foundations for Living in the amount of $38,646.90 for the purchase and delivery of services for the Ohio Family and Children's First, effective November 12th, 2021 through February 9th, 2022, to be paid from the contract services account.
Move to approve.
Second?
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
The next item of business is number 13.
Approve and enter into Village Network in the amount of $12,420 for the purchase and delivery of services for the Ohio Family and Children's First, effective November 10th, 2021 through December 10th, 2021, to be paid from the contract services account.
Move to approve.
Second?
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Okay, the next item of business is number 14, Community Development. Madam Clerk, please read the resolution into the record.
Approve Lorraine County Eaton Township Economic Development Land Use Plan.
Move to approve.
Second?
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? We have Natasha Kresap from our Community Development Department here. If you'd like to say a few words.
Thank you, Commissioner and the board and Madam Clerk. We just want to make sure that when we're looking to Eaton Township, which is a rural community that's truly growing and has a future, that we have the public infrastructure improvements ready and available at this time. They're not sound, they're not providing the safe corridors, so this economic development plan puts into play the turning lane off of State Route 83, and also improvements to the fire station. So we're looking at not only safe corridors, but the safety service needs of the residents and the visitors, which also will create a market demand. So then you'll have commercial and retail and truly be able to fuel the economic growth of Eaton Township. So that's what is entailed in this economic development plan today.
Thank you, Natasha.
Thank you.
Any questions from the board? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Okay, moving on to the Office of the Sanitary Engineer. The next item of business is number 15.
Enter in a contract with K. McCartney and Associates to provide general engineering consulting services on a 24-month task order in the amount of $250,000 to be paid from the sanitary professional services account.
Okay, move to approve.
Second?
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Hey, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
The next item of business is number 16.
Petition for the construction of Lorraine County General Sewer District, Columbia Township, Boone Road Sanitary Trunk Line and Pump Station, Sewer Improvement Number 126, and certain road improvements to Boone and Snell Road, Columbia Township. Viewing of turn lane sidewalk will take place on Monday, November 29th at 10 a.m., and hearing will be held Tuesday, January 18, 2022 at 9:30.
Okay, move to approve.
Second?
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Okay, moving on to the Office of the Engineer. The next item of business is number 17.
Advertise for bids for the Broadway resurfacing and water main replacement project, Sheffield Township and City of Lorraine. Notice to be in the Journal on November 22nd and 29th and open at 2 p.m. on December 21st. This will resurface 2.3 miles of Broadway from State Route 2 to 28th Street and install a 10-inch water main from North Ridge Road to East 39th Street. Estimated cost is $2,590,820, and the funds will be provided by NOACA, the engineer, and City of Lorraine.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Okay, the next item of business is number 18.
Advertise for bids for the Lake Avenue resurfacing project in Elyria Township. Notice to be in the Journal on November 22nd and 29th. Open at 2:30 on December 21st. This will resurface 0.8 miles of Lake Avenue from Parmley Avenue to Griswold Road. The estimated cost is $343,650, and the funds will be provided by NOACA and the engineer.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
The next item of business is number 19.
Advertise bids for the Case Road Bridge 0083 replacement project in North Ridgeville. Notice to be in the Journal on November 22nd and 29th and open at 3 p.m. on December 21st. This will replace Case Road Bridge 0083 as well as a minor pavement approach work and guardrails. Estimated cost is $516,107.96, or I'm sorry, 6 cents, and funds will be provided by ODOT through the Ohio Bridge Partnership Program and the City of North Ridgeville.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
All right, moving on to the Office of the Prosecutor. The next item of business is number 20. Madam Clerk, please read the resolution into the record.
Authorize acceptance of VOCA and SBA grant for the Victim Witness Program for Ohio Attorney General Office effective October 1st, 2021 through September 30th, 2022 in the amount of $108,253.18. This grant will pay partial payment of 6 full-time victim advocates and cash match of $26,063.30 will be paid from the Commissioner's General Fund allocation account.
Okay, move to approve.
Second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Any discussion from the board? Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Okay, B lobby session. Welcome to the lobby portion of our meeting. In order to speak on the topic of your choice, you have had to fill out a slip and turn it into the clerk. Please stay seated until you are called. When you are called up, you will need to state your name and address clearly for the record. You will have 3 minutes to speak on the topic of your choice. Our first speaker today is Mr. Charles Ochiltree.
All right, good morning, Charles Ochiltree, 344 10th Street. Today I noticed I counted on the calendar, is my 9th meeting that I've attended where I've made comments and asked questions, and I have not received one answer. Wanted to just review real quick the public comment form that we fill out. Rule number 2 states that the speaker should limit their comments to 3 minutes, which we do. That time is can be granted and can be extended if the commissioners so desire, but unfortunately that's not been my opportunity yet. It says that this is designed as an opportunity for citizens to address the board with comments or concerns. It's designed as an obligation because you have to, but unfortunately I don't think that's really what you're hoping for. Please be advised, commissioners and administrative staff may not be able to directly respond to your concern or inquiry due to the fact that additional information may be necessary to respond accurately. So that in that statement implies the fact that when we have the need for additional information, we can get that information, then we can respond at some point, I would think. I've not heard, not even not one answer. And I don't understand that at all. I don't understand what's the point of this process if we get up here and we ask questions, legitimate questions, and we hear nothing from the board at all. So can I at least expect an email? Because that's what I thought was going to happen. I served on a school board years ago, and we would answer every comment, at least an email. If we couldn't answer it in the moment of the meeting, which oftentimes we couldn't, but we would answer every comment because as you guys notice, there aren't too many people speaking publicly. So it wouldn't be too much of a burden, I wouldn't think, but hopefully that can happen, right? All right. So I'm going to review real quick how we've got here. Since Commissioner Hung's misconduct was made public, the Director of Job and Family Services and the 911 Director were both abruptly fired back on 8/3. County Administrator Williams was then abruptly fired the following week. The acting administrator is fired only a couple weeks later. All of these were hired by this board only 8 months prior to that. Former Administrator Williams files his lawsuit because of breach of contract. Primarily, it seems, because of failure to pay his severance. And yet, we've heard no response. I've asked each week, Michelle Hung should resign, I state. She's been called by the local paper to resign, some of the GOP leadership to resign. Many other constituents have the same sentiment. She should resign for misconduct, or at least give an answer, make a statement, because we've heard nothing from you. And you promised, and I think what you're showing now is that you cannot be
Mr.
trusted.
Ogletree, your time has expired.
All right, thank you.
I don't know how to stop this, though. Okay, sorry. Okay, our next speaker is Mr. Michael DiCarlo. If I pronounced that correctly.
Good morning, Commissioners. Michael DiCarlo, 320 Alberta Road, Vermilion, Ohio. I rise to speak today, not as a red team or blue team member, but to try to appeal to your common sense. William Pitt the Younger once said, especially during this budget season, right? William Pitt the Younger said, "Necessity is the plea of every infringement of human freedom. It is the argument of tyrants. It is the creed of slaves." Hope you consider that during this budget cycle. I was motivated primarily to come up here when one of our public servants was wearing a deputy's uniform with a badge, labeled each one of us in Lorain County ignorant because we didn't make enough money as the folks in Cincinnati. If he wants to work for rich people, tell him to go work in Cincinnati. I have some concern with multi-jurisdictional agreements that are being pushed through the law enforcement agencies because they're supposed to be policing the peace. I come to this because the federal government is a product of the 13 colonies which became states. A product of contracts. In theory, contract theory, shouldn't be a party to contracts. So our elected sheriff, who is actually has more authority than you. You're the holders of the purse, which is why I'm here. The sheriff has the most authority in this county. He's elected for that purpose. And it's with respect that I ask him, why is he surrendering his authority to a lower power? A lower power being the federal government, which is the product of the states uniting. He went around begging to the cities for $2,500, $1,000 each to keep a funding program going because the war on drugs is a loser. You're putting nonviolent people in prison, and they're coming out angry. I was born here, I was adopted here, I was raised here. I left for 30-some-odd years, 20 of them being in the Navy. Another 5 years after that, I taught for the Army. I taught how to use equipment to break up information so that IEDs wouldn't explode, and our kids can come home and drink beer and make babies. Other than that, 3 years of that, I was an intelligence instructor, where you take what you have today and you try to map out what's tomorrow. The way that we're going, and we're growing government, my children, my grandchildren, and also yours, will be living in countries that I fought against. Because the government will be everywhere. And when infringements are made upon freedom, and freedom isn't a blank slate here, okay? Freedom is liberty plus morality. That's your freedom. But when it's dictated by state actors,
Thank you, Mr.
that's slavery.
DiCarlo.
Thank you,
Time
ma'am.
has expired.
Have a
Thank
good
you,
day.
sir.
Are you announcing a run for political office, or you have a lot of passion, sir? Or do you feel as a...
Sir, I did 20 years I did 20 years in the Navy and the submarine force.
Oh, yeah.
All right? So the things that we're applying to our own citizens, we apply to our enemies.
Right.
And that's why I'm here.
Okay. No, I appreciate you showing up.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Our final speaker is Mr. Will Spiegelberg.
Well, honestly, after that, I forgot everything I was going to say, so I got to start from scratch. It was fun, and I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and thanks for all of your work. You know, being a commissioner, putting your name on the ballot is tough, and it's fun. One of the things that's cool is when I walked in, Commissioner Lundy said, "Haven't seen you at a baseball game," and it's funny because I wish I wouldn't age like Commissioner Lundy. And one of the things I'm thankful for Thanksgiving is the Lake Erie Crushers. And if you want to find Commissioner Lundy, you're probably going to find him out there because that's where I got to find him. But anyway, I was at the Crushers game one day, and my grandson, who I take many times, I'm sure Commissioner Lundy remembers that, said to me, he said, "Who was the greatest baseball player of all time?" And I said, "Pete Gray." And people don't even know who he was. And if you have a chance, look on YouTube. Keith Carradine, I think it was Keith, I don't remember, but played Pete Gray in a movie called Winners Never Quit. So I'm going to take that positive standpoint, thanking all of you commissioners for your hard work. And I think Michelle Hung is a winner, and she should never quit. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Spiegelberg. Okay, moving on to reports. C, County Administrator, Mr. James R. White has an excused absence today. D, Assistant County Prosecutor, Mr. Dan Petticord. Do you have a report for us?
Thank you, Commissioner. I have no report today. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to E, Commissioner's Report. Commissioner Moore, do you have a report today?
Not today.
Okay, Commissioner Lundy, do you have a report today?
Sure. I'll start with, I think the greatest baseball player to ever live was Roberto Clemente. So I'm on the record with that one. Okay. Concerning my report this week, Madam President, had the opportunity to attend the Patriot Park dedication in Amherst, where they unveiled a memorable wall. And I've got to tell you, that was it was packed that day, and of course, Lou Maglio, who was there, was obviously giving credit to Dick Goddard and the skies above for looking down and providing us with great weather that day. It was a beautiful day. A lot of veterans groups were there. A lot of veterans had I think a biplane flyover as well. But a very nice event, and I can never say enough about how much this county strongly supports our veterans, and want to thank you, sir, for your service as well too to our country. But it was just a great event. If you get the chance, please go to Amherst, downtown Amherst, and check out the new Patriot Park. It's you'll be blown away. It's just a great tribute to all the veterans of Lorain County. Also had the opportunity to sit down with Denise Weller. She heads up a organization called Hearts of Patriots. You know, when we think about veterans, in a lot of cases, we need to take that extra step and think about the military families, think about the spouses as well too. And her organization is playing a vital role in helping the spouses whose spouses are battling post-traumatic stress disorders. And they're playing a very critical role in providing that support. And I know that she'll be meeting with my colleagues as well too, but they're doing good things in the community. They're hoping to be a national organization that would be based out of Lorain County, which I think is very exciting. They've already produced a documentary on the topic of spouses of service individuals who have post-traumatic stress disorders. And so we'll be hearing a lot more about them, I think, in the future. Also had the opportunity yesterday and saw the page one story on Todd Harford, who's the new operating officer for UH Elyria. We had a very nice conversation. He's a BG grad who originally was in Solon. Now he's down in the Ashland area, but he'll be the new director for UH Hospital here in Elyria. They're doing a lot of good things over there, and we were talking about the importance of the good jobs that they provide over there, and also the important healthcare services that they provide. We had a very good conversation. Also want to point out that I'll be attending another partnership meeting with the Lorraine schools. They're bringing in people from law enforcement, community leaders, just to talk about how to better connect with the students in the community. And that'll be taking place this afternoon at Lorraine High. Also, we move forward with making improvements to Quarry Road so we don't have the flooding issues over there on the roadside and in the farmers' fields as well. And I think we've come up with a really good plan there, and it's going to be a great benefit to the property owners there and really solve some safety issues and also help protect the properties of a lot of farmers in that area. So it's a win-win all the way around. And also I'd like to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving. I know we go through a lot of things in our daily lives, but we should just stop and be thankful for what we have, for having a roof over our head and having food on the table and having our health and our family around us. That's, at the end of the day, that's always what's most important. So thank you, Madam President.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Lundy. I have no report. Our next item is F, the clerk's report.
Just next Wednesday, we will not be meeting. Happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, our next item is I, board correspondence. I move to waive the reading of the board correspondence due to its length.
I'll second that.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Okay, the county administrator met and spoke with each of us prior to the meeting to review the personal summary sheet and taking under consideration of Assistant County Prosecutor's report and direction. There is no other executive session business to discuss. Do we need a roll call on that, Dan?
Well, we need to,
No, but we need to approve.
We
I
need
have
to
that.
approve.
I have that here.
No.
Okay, so then moving on to the next item, which is I move to approve the personnel summary sheet.
second.
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Lundy. Madam Clerk, is there any discussion?
Thank you. Yeah,
Quick, Ted.
well. Yeah, anyway, yeah, I'll be voting no on number one on the workforce development director. My understanding is this is a contract, I believe. I thought we were just voting on his,
That's for the COLA.
That's for the
correct?
COLA
Yes,
increase.
it is a contract because he's
This
paid
is-
by contract.
yeah, but I thought, was the original contract wasn't signed, correct? And that's why we're doing this one? Or is this
No, it
one?
was signed by Mr. Cortez.
Was signed.
Yeah.
This is the COLA increase.
This is just the COLA increase. It isn't for a new term.
So that, yeah, but you're doing a COLA for a contract employee, correct? That's what we're doing?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I need to know. I'll be voting no. Thank you. That's
Okay,
it.
so Madam Clerk, so then when the roll is called, then the commissioner would then,
And
at
number
that
one.
time. Okay, all right. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung,
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye, with the noted exception of number one on the no.
All righty. Meeting announcements. The next regularly scheduled board meeting is Wednesday, December 1st at 9:30 a.m. On behalf of the Lorraine County Board of Commissioners, we would like to extend our best wishes for a happy Thanksgiving. And just a reminder that county offices will be closed on November 24th and November 25th. Is there any further business from this board? Since there's no further business, this meeting is adjourned.